In this video, I'm going to talk about 8 ways in which you can hide your brilliant, authentic self, how this can hinder your recovery, and what to do about it. I'm going to guide you through 3 steps to help you connect to your authentic, brilliant self. And at the end, I'll share a story that illustrates the importance of connecting to that part of you. And I'll let you know how you can access some powerful tools designed to help you build that relationship in a way that supports your healing. And you can get some coaching at no cost. So I'm Simon Pimenta. I create videos and other resources to help people with ME, CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID and related conditions move towards their goals, exploring mind, body and practical approaches. So many of us have important goals and we have a desire to be loved and accepted. So sometimes we compromise focusing on our goals because of our need to be loved and accepted. We engage in behaviours that mask our brilliant, authentic selves. And this means that we compromise ourselves and our goals. This results in stress and dis-ease. If we stay in that state of dis-ease long enough, that can result in disease. So here are 8 common ways of hiding your authentic, brilliant self, your feelings and your needs. So let me know which ones you can relate to by dropping the number in the comments. So the first one, number 1, is perfectionism. The pursuit of perfectionism can be a way of avoiding criticism and disapproval. We hide our vulnerabilities and imperfections that make us human. And this pretense of infallibility can keep us from connecting to ourselves and others in an authentic way. Number 2 is people pleasing. Constantly prioritizing other people's needs above our own can be a way of gaining validation and avoiding conflict. The result is that we neglect our own desires and needs. We create an identity that is built around meeting other people's expectations. Number 3 is overachieving. Some people have a constant need to outperform themselves, and this often stems from a fear that they are inadequate and unlovable, which is not true unless they achieve. Number 4, over-explaining. Feeling the need to justify our actions and decisions can be a way of deflecting judgment, but often results in judgment. Other people pick up that we don't feel comfortable about our decisions, and it can be an invitation for them to push you on your decisions when your no sounds a bit like a maybe. Ranulph Fiennes, the explorer, said, when we excuse ourselves, we accuse ourselves, meaning that we're conveying that we lack conviction and belief in ourselves and our decisions. This chips away at our self-confidence. Number 5 is burying our feelings. When we bottle up our emotions, we disconnect from our authentic selves. Difficult emotions are a part of life, and suppressing them can lead to eruptions of emotion, for example, anger or rage later on. Again, this feeds the dis-ease in our body. Number 6, avoiding conflict. Confrontation is uncomfortable, or can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary to express our needs. Avoiding conflict altogether results in us suppressing our authentic voice. This doesn't feel good and can lead to resentment. Number 7, forgiving too readily. Forgiveness is a virtue, but forgiving too easily can be a way of avoiding difficult conversations and showing our emotional vulnerability. It's important to acknowledge genuine hurt before offering forgiveness. Number 8, disregarding our boundaries. Healthy boundaries are essential for health and self-respect. Disregarding our own boundaries can be a way of avoiding rocking the boat and saying no. However, it ultimately diminishes our sense of self. So by recognizing these limiting behaviors in ourselves, we can practice responding in more useful ways. And I'm going to share 3 steps to show you how to do that. If you like, you can close your eyes right now, as long as it's safe for you to close your eyes as I go through these steps. So step 1 is to connect to your wise self. You have this part within you. It's always there. It's like the blue sky. It's the part of you that has responded to challenging situations many times. This part of you has the capacity for patience, presence, pragmatism, the ability to see the bigger picture, to keep things in perspective. That part of you has the capacity for acceptance. That part of you has the capacity to discern what is appropriate. For example, discerning what is good enough rather than aiming for perfectionism. That part of you has the capacity for calm, self-compassion, and trust. I invite you to connect to this part of you on a daily basis, perhaps reminding yourself of some of the times where you just responded to challenging situations in resourceful ways. So step 2 is to clarify and commit to what I call your wildly important goal. This is a concept that was introduced to me by a coach called Brian Johnson. So one of the first things I do when people do my Building Resilience course is we identify their wildly important goal. And when you do this and commit to that wildly important goal, it tips the scales in favour of you acting in ways that are more aligned with your wildly important goal. Step 3 is to take care of the part of you that is feeling wounded. That part of you developed these limiting behaviours in an attempt to achieve love and approval. So you take care of that part of you by listening to that part so it feels safe and heard. That part of you is then more receptive to being guided by the wise part of you. So when you do these things, instead of being perfectionist, you can discern what is good enough and how to approach situations and people in ways that are aligned with your well-being. Instead of being a people pleaser, you can discern a more balanced approach, having care for others, but also care for yourself. Instead of being an overachiever, you can approach things in that balanced way that are aligned with your wildly important goal. For example, many of us have got caught up in what I call our mildly important goal, i.e. this is our short-term goal, and we lose sight of our long-term goal in that moment. Let's say, for example, you're tidying a room and you start the task and you're enjoying it and you keep going, and at a certain point your body starts to communicate that it needs something else, maybe to pause, maybe just have a break from it. But we don't listen. We keep going and we deplete our energy. That constant boom and bust can literally hinder your recovery. When we're tidying a room in a way that's aligned with our wildly important goal, then you're more likely to do a bit, have a break, trusting that it's okay to stop now, that you can come back to it later. And by pausing, just reconnecting, then you're going to be building your energy. And when you build your energy, your body can heal. Instead of over-explaining, you get comfortable with setting boundaries and recognizing you don't need to explain. You get comfortable with saying no. And sometimes the word no is enough. Instead of burying feelings, avoiding conflict, and forgiving too easily, you're able to honour and respect your feelings and communicate them in appropriate ways. when you're really clear about your boundaries, it's easier to protect them by practicing these new responses until they become easy, natural. Letting go of these limiting behaviours allows you to embrace your true, brilliant self and build more meaningful connection with yourself and with others. This can support your healing. There's a story which I believe is true about a young man in the Australian outback. He kicks what he thinks is a large stone, but discovers it's very heavy. He picks it up and realizes it's covered in mud. So he breaks the crust of mud off and realizes he's found gold. That part of you that is authentic is like the gold. You can remove the dust, the dirt. You don't have to do it roughly. You can do it in a way that is more gentle, in a way that feels safe for you. That means healing wounds, letting go of limiting beliefs, some of which are unconscious. If you'd like to learn more about how to live with more authenticity, being your true brilliant self in a way that helps support your body's healing, then I invite you to join me in part 1 of my Building Resilience course. There's no charge for this. The course starts next week, so don't hang about if you're interested, because I may not offer this again. My goal is to teach you how to remove the dirt and connect with your true, brilliant, authentic self. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll learn powerful tools that have helped myself and other people heal. So if you'd like to know more about the course and how you can access part 1 at no cost, comment course below. If you found this video helpful, do like, subscribe and share the video. If you want more tips, join my Facebook group, and also you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I do post more on TikTok, links below. Keep going, you've got this. Dare to dream. Wishing you great health. Bye for now.